The Brooks Ghost is one of America's most popular running shoes, but let's go over the reasons why I think you might have to skip over this one for now. So starting out with the outsole for the Brooks Ghost 16, it's a pretty standard Brooks running shoe outsole. I think it looks mostly the same to the Ghost 15 and the Ghost 14. I could be wrong, but to me, a lot of the Brooks running shoes outsoles look the same, and this one is no different. I think that's a good thing because Brooks makes very good outsoles and very durable outsoles. The thickness on this rubber outsole is pretty thick, just like most Ghosts and most Brooks running shoes are. Brooks has been very consistent with their outsoles, providing very good traction as well as good durability, and that's no different with the Ghost 16. So I did not have any problems running in the Ghost 16. I live in California, so I was not able to test this in wet weather conditions, but I assume that they would do decently well. I wouldn't say that you should play basketball outside with them while it's raining. I don't think the traction is that good, but in dry weather conditions, I had no issues turning, stopping, all the things that you would do on a normal run. As for durability, I think that Brooks does an amazing job at giving you extra thick rubber pieces on the outsole, so I do think that this Ghost is gonna last just as long as all the previous Ghosts. Moving on to the midsole of the Brooks Ghost 16, we have a DNA Loft V3 full-length midsole with a 12mm heel to toe drop, so there's 24mm of stack in the heel and 12mm of stack in the forefoot. I think that the cushioning was good. I don't think it was great. The DNA Loft V3 cushioning is very comfortable. It's soft when you're running a little bit slower or walking, especially in the heel because you have a little bit more stack height in the heel. As for the forefoot, that's where I believe a little bit extra stack would have been nice. The forefoot feels a little bit more responsive because there's less DNA Loft V3 in the forefoot because there's only 12mm of stack height in the forefoot. So you're getting a low to the ground feel in the Ghost 16, which in turn, I guess with a lower stack height as well as even with a softer foam, you're gonna get that response from the ground because you're compressing the foam completely, and that's exactly how I felt in the Ghost 16. On easy day-to-day runs, you know, anything under 10 miles, I had no problem with the Ghost 16's cushioning. I actually did really enjoy it. The cushioning is pretty soft and it provided ample impact protection for myself. However, I did want a little bit more cushioning in the forefoot, which is probably due to the 12mm heel to toe drop. Moving on to the upper of the Brooks Ghost 16, we have a regular mesh. I think every year a lot of running companies try to come up with a different way to say mesh, which I think is pretty funny, but overall it's just a regular mesh upper, and then we have this heel cup or heel counter on the Brooks Ghost. And something that I love about Brooks, and I'm not sure if they do it on every Ghost model because I only have the Brooks Ghost 14, but even on the Brooks Ghost 14, they have a little bit of a concave down, or I guess concave sideways for the heel cup. So what that does is it locks in your heel really well. It might be a little bit tougher to get your foot in the shoe completely first, but once it's in, it's really locked in, which I think is a excellent highlight of the Brooks Ghost line in general. I've never had heel lockdown issues with the Brooks Ghost 16 as well as the Brooks Ghost 14. As for the rest of the upper as well as the fit, I thought that these felt a little bit narrow to start when I first took them out of the box. However, once I put a couple miles in them, I felt the toe box start to break in and get a little bit wider. So it did accommodate my wider than normal foot, and also I think it runs true to size. So overall lockdown on the Ghost 16 was very good, and I would say that the ventilation was pretty average. It wasn't anything too special and it wasn't anything too hot. So overall, the Brooks Ghost 16 priced at $140, would I recommend the shoe? Honestly, I think that Brooks made a fantastic daily trainer, which they normally do with the Ghost line. However, at a price point of $140, I think it just makes sense, especially since they didn't change the shoe up too much from last year's model and the year before that, I would just save the extra money and grab either the Ghost 15 or the Ghost 14. In my opinion, the DNA Loft V3 upgrade on the midsole is not a huge upgrade. It's not gonna feel a world of difference, as I've run in the Brooks Ghost Max, which had DNA Loft V2, and I have the Ghost 14, which is DNA Loft V1. I think the only difference between those cushion setups is that the DNA Loft V3 is a little bit softer, and I just say a little bit. And then also with the forefoot being so low to the ground, you're not gonna feel a huge difference with that DNA Loft V3. Again, I would recommend the Ghost 14, the Ghost 15 over this model just to save you a little bit of extra money. And if you do want the DNA Loft V3, you don't want to compromise on that, you can actually get the Brooks Glycerin 20 for I believe around $100 right now. And and it's gonna have a higher stack height than this shoe. So you're gonna save 40 bucks and you're gonna have a little bit more of that DNA Loft V3 cushioning. If you want a max cushion shoe, I would recommend the Brooks Ghost Max for $10 more, $150, and that's gonna be a 6mm heel to toe drop, as well as just a little bit more cushion underfoot. And I think that that's a little bit more worth the money than this Brooks Ghost 16. Overall though, price aside, I think that this shoe is fantastic. I think the Brooks Ghost line is one of the most popular running shoes on the market for a reason. They make really great shoes in this Ghost line and really reliable daily trainers that can handle a lot of different things, from walking, going to the gym, doing the runs. So I think that Brooks killed it, but honestly they kill it every year with the Ghost line. So that's gonna pretty much wrap up my review on the Brooks Ghost 16. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you would buy it. I think that if you were to buy the Brooks Ghost 16, it would honestly maybe be for the change in aesthetics of the shoe. I think it's a pretty good looking shoe. However, other than the looks, I don't know really how you can justify the extra pricing over last year's models or different models that Brooks offers. So let me know in the comment section down below if you're interested in the Brooks Ghost 16, if you've run in it, how do you like it? How do you like the other shoes like the Brooks Glycerin 20, the Brooks Ghost 14s, 15s, all of that good stuff. And also make sure to like and subscribe. I have a lot more running shoe review videos coming out, as well as a little bit more running content. So I'll see you guys in the next one.